What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. You know, guys, I want to have a conversation about this Eboni K. Williams thing. And as you know, Eboni K. Williams came out and told black women that it would be better for them to get the MRS degree as they're getting the college degree. And for those of you who have went to, let's say, predominantly white colleges and universities, you understand what that means. Most people that are not in the black community, at least the time I was going to school, were looking to go to college to find a mate at the same time while getting their degree. And for a lot of women in the black community, that wasn't happening. They're basically going to college looking for, their own degree. And if a comes after that, fine, right? But I want you guys to pay attention to, what she said, Eboni K. Williams, to put it in perspective. I'll play that clip and then I'm going to come back.
The reality that needs to be said out loud is that as black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for black women. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades. The reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college-educated black men is so low when compared to black college-educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 black women students for every 1 black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD.
So, of course, your boy had to check out what Cynthia G had to say. I know y'all don't like me to check her things out, but it was sent to me. But I just want you to hear this foolishness, okay? Play that clip.
I want to show y'all something because a lot of people were asking me to talk about this Eboni K. Williams thing. I actually wanted to wait until she came out and made a response because at the end of the day, like we already know right now that this is an agenda. This is an attack on Black women's elevation. And it appears that they're trying to recruit and get whoever they can to put out these narratives that you need to settle for a black man. And we're supposed to not think that this is something that's geared towards black men when it really is. We're supposed to think that this is just your options with any group of men, and that's not the case. They're trying to maintain black men's ability to be able to have access to you, and it's access that they literally should not have. They should not have the type of access. Okay? It just is what it is. So we're going to get into that. There's 2 things that I saw that I wanted to talk about before that, because I don't know if y'all remember, but in my last live stream or my last video, I mentioned when Dr. Heavenly went on, when Dr. Heavenly was on Fox Soul, she had a discussion with Al Reynolds and Funky Dineva, and there was some comments made that I want y'all to listen to as well, because this is the climate that Black women have helped to create by not opening up their options. You have options, but your failure to utilize that option now has the narrative being that you have no options. And I want to talk about that because at the end of the day, Black women, you're going to have to push back on this, especially if for the ones who have daughters and you want your daughter to have options or to be able to live a different existence, not the struggle existence that's promoted in the Black community. we're going to have to get ahead of this and respond to it and make it very, very clear that, look, you can go slum with a black male worshiper who wants to be in these struggle love situations, who wants to shelter the burden of all of the bills except the light bill. You can do that if you want to, but we're not about to do that.
So again, this is a person that just a few months ago was all on Eboni K. Williams' job. Now today, she says, well, you see, they have an agenda to, try to limit black women's agenda. Who are they? First of all, that's what I want to know. Who are they? She can't describe who they are. You want to know why? Because they don't exist. You see, that's how silly people are. You see, a black woman comes out and says, hey, if you want to have some success while you're in college, marry a black man. What kind of black man? Presumably a black man that is what? In college. A black man who is also your equal or above. We're not saying go and marry a Dusty, which is what she calls them, hooligans or whatever she calls these guys. I forgot how she describes it, right? But it doesn't matter because she has a baby by the same guy she's talking about, but that's beside the point, okay? Marry a guy that's in college that has the same bright future, because why? It's where you're going to find the most people that are like you. Let me tell you something about life. College, and if you guys can remember who went to universities or who went to the university is a very unreal ecosystem. It's where you will find, literally some of the most attractive ladies are, and I'm talking about as far as effort. I mean, you're studying for exams all the time. You're always motivated. You have big dreams and aspirations. When you leave college and get into the real world, now you're around people who are not like that. People who are not motivated. People who've lost hope. And so when you get into the grind of everyday life, everyday business, everyday working in a different city, your dating pool options may or may not be there like they were at the university. That's why a lot of us, for some of our good friends, we've lost contact with them. They're in one part of a lot of friends I went to college with. Some of them are not even in the same location anymore. Some of them have left the country. Some of them are in Mexico. Some of them, life is like that. But if you're married in college and things like that, you have a good opportunity, to do some things. Especially, let me just say, if you're the kind of person where you're moving out of the country. I'm living out of the country right now. I know of many couples who have married and they leave the country together and they're life partners. And things change in the relationship. People change. But a lot of those values are still the same. What Cynthia G is talking about is just hating on black men no matter who they are, right? And not making any sense. The agenda to dislike black men for no reason is so strong that even if you're telling black women to marry an eligible black man who is hardworking, who will earn a lot of money, somehow that's an agenda against black women. And they need to go and find somebody else. Okay, let's talk about these people who are somebody else. If that is the case, if we're talking about marrying somebody else, Eboni K. Williams never said a race. Why are black women not getting married to white men? Any man, Asian men in college. Sure, you wouldn't have a problem with that. I'll tell you the reason why they're having a hard time doing that. Because it's too much competition, okay? See, let me tell you this. Well, here's what's a little bit different from when I was in school. When I was at Sacramento State University, it wasn't so common. Like I said, a lot of black guys come out of college to, when you're in college, you're pretty much struggling a lot, and a lot of ladies didn't really like you that much. I think times are a little different now. So what happens is a lot of these younger black men are being competed for a lot more aggressively than in the times past. So the guys now, I think, have it even easier than we did. A lot of us coming from the black community, even if you go to HBCUs, I mean, a lot of Pookies and Ray Rays have come up to Howard University and, in great Alabama and A&M, and they would have more success with some of the guys that are in college. But if you're at a PWI or some of these other schools now, as a black man, you're actually more valued than when I was in school. Because some of us were like the first generation of young black men that were going to college from the black American community, African American community. And it wasn't such a popularized things there at the time. It wasn't so popular. Now it is. And so if you're going to some of these schools like University of Colorado, USC, UC Davis, hey, those chicks are coming after you more aggressively than before. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate it for all you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.